Hello, welcome to another edition of uh, airbrushing. I was going to say building a model and chatting, but no, it's airbrushing and chatting today. Uh, just kind of did this because I was going to be bored doing this because I am doing a lot of neutral colors today, but then I'm also going to be checking out the various green stuff rolled chromes. But right now I'm putting on the pre-shade on some spoons to see what it'll look like with the base coat on there afterwards. Hello, Code. Hope you're doing well. I'll try and keep looking at comments, but so I have this on real low, and I'm just going around the edges real low, and that's all I'm going to. Basically, what shading is it's putting kind of a frame on a panel, and also it'll go in between any crevices as well. You can see that with the gin I painted in. There was just short put out on the finished product of the gin with the shading. So I'm not being exact with this. I don't have to be as exact on spoons as I would have to be on minis and on gunpla. But with this, it's more just testing of how the color will look merged together. So I've already done, what was this color? This was dark gray. I already did the shading on these ones. And I'm currently doing the Mr. Hobby Aqueous flat black. Let's see how that will look. So that's all of those for that one. We'll put the rest of the paint back. And welcome to everyone that's here. I see there's 3 people that have joined us, which, hey, I know it's been a while. I wasn't really expecting anyone, so it's great to see anyone that does show up. Pouring that back in there, because I'm now about wasting any paint. Of course, I don't remember where I put the. Yeah, I'm all haphazard for a second here. Where I put my other paper towel. So I have to grab a new one. Let's see here. Screw it on and put away. Get the alcohol out. Spray a little in there. Put your finger on the needle cap. Pull back so that it bubbles back forth. Trying to get as much of that paint out of there as possible. And then you clean up the pot as best as possible. A little bit more sprays. Put some more alcohol through. Let's see here. All right, we're good. All right. So next one, we don't have to mix, which is kind of nice. And then after this, we're going to be testing some colors while those dry. But this next shading one is Army Painter Matte Black. All right, got our spoons here. Time to do some shading. That might work nice. I'll be curious. So yeah, what I do when I do the actual miniature pieces shading, I actually put my hand on the table to steady myself, and it helps prevent the tremor. So like I have a much steadier hand, and I can even get real thin on it too. But for these, like I said, we're just putting it on. We're a little light on the top, which I'm kind of want. So this out of the way. We'll clean this up and clean up the gun pretty good because we're switching to uh, some chrome paints I got. And it's not just regular chrome, which I've used their chrome before and love it. This actually is several different like metal colors, like copper, tin, bronze, gold, antique gold, I think. Well, I think I actually named them all without looking. I'm proud of myself. Got emptied, cleaned out. Chat is quiet. But I want to thank everyone that's been understanding of my little break. I just needed a break. I was kind of burnt out, and the last couple of streams I had been very frustrated with how things went. So it all kind of came to a head, and I was having my own little issues, and I needed a break. But tomorrow we start the Providence, and that will be very interesting. And with that, we're going from build all the way through painting, water slides, panel lining, and all the way to top coat. So we're going to see the whole process together. All right. Plenty clean as it's going to get. So let's see here. Our first victim is copper. So we're only doing 2 spoons. So we don't need too much of it, but I do know for a fact that these love to what's the word? Go through quickly. There we go. Didn't want to come undone. All right. Let's put gonna have to pop a hole in it. It looks like. Didn't realize that. That wasn't that hard. That little toothpick did it. Spraying red. That's spraying rather thick. Yeah, as I get my head in the way here, I turn up the pressure a little bit. I wasn't caring too much about the thickness for that, since it's just testing the outside, and I kind of wanted to do it thick because it'll show the darkest part of doing it. When I tend to paint a little heavier dark anyways, so I'd like to try and maximize that. All right, so doing the copper chrome. This is real heavy flakes. Kind of surprised of how it came out, but yeah, that is some real. Yeah, I've always tended to be a little more heavy-handed, unfortunately. I'll be curious what it looks like after it smooths out a little bit, if it smooths out. Hey, Sathael, great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Been a while. Let's go for nail cleanser to try and get this all out. Currently, we're trying out some new metal chromes paint, and then I did some shading, and on some spoons. And once they're dry, which should be after we do these test pieces, we can it really gunked up my. What happened? Let's get this airbrush cleanser out of here and use just water. This stuff is rather, it's not going as smooth as the chrome. It's got like a lot of heavy pigment chunks, and they dried rather quickly inside of it. And it's like gunked up my airbrush completely. That is not good. Yeah, I'm going to take all that apart. You gotta be kidding me. Let's see if I can't flush it. It does not want to flush out either. It is just like, I wish I could show, I'm trying to show you. Let's see. Now you can't really see it with the light the way it is. But it is just all thick in there. Here, let's grab some of these swabs. I think we're going to hold off on these chrome paints. So I'll have to get like a thinner or something for them and find out what I have to get. The chrome one never did that. That's why I'm kind of surprised. That was yeah, it is just all gunked up. Oh no. Well, that's gonna be entertaining for the show. But I should be ready for it because priming is all about being gunked up half the time. Just trying to get as much of this out. Ugh. All right, we're gonna do. We're gonna clean that up a little bit later. Well, actually, I have to clean up because I gotta do the painting of. So I guess gonna try to do as quick as possible, get it cleaned up so that we can do the rest of what we need to do. That out of the way. Thing is, this thing's a power horse and probably would have kept going even even if I let's see here. I got that's really jammed in there. All right. Hold on, I gotta get the nozzle tool. We are. This is going to be a boring stream. All right, where's this? There it goes. All right. I what is you need a little small special wrench to get the nozzle off. And just let's see here. What happened? Okay. Okay, let's pull this back a little bit. Sorry, I'm doing this off camera, but there we go. The nozzle off now. Now it's time to clean everything out. Uh, yeah, it did something weird to my gun. 'Cause it's even turning the cup white. What is going on? Maybe switching to alcohol will help. It is bad. Let's see. I might have to take this off stream just to focus. Playing around with limited space too doesn't help. Oh, I know what I'm forgetting to do. Such a dummy. Got to take out the needle. And I pulled it out the front because I didn't want this stuff to get in backwards, because that would have caused all types of future problems. Well, I won't be using those anytime soon. I mean, it is like solid sediment in it. Alcohol seems to get it the best. Jeez. This is a little nightmare. So I can only get so far in there too. Okay, I can get deeper in. I'm being stupid. I hate using these things, but they do eventually serve a purpose. Really sorry to everyone that's watching. This was unexpected. But this is what can happen when you do airbrushing. Yeah, it's pulling those pigments out. I mean, it is just thick pigment. So I don't see here. Just shooting alcohol straight through to try and get it all out. And it looks like we're finally making progress. Where's paper towel? Get as much as that off of the wire. So the less in here, the better the outcome. All right, I think we got it. So now it's just flushing it and cleaning it out and getting everything else clean. Hopefully the nozzle's not too bad. The needle didn't look too bad. Still some sediment in there, but it should at least blow through here. Grab one more swab here. Yeah, it is just still super thick. I shouldn't have assumed I would spray like the other stuff. Okay, now it's pretty much as clean as it's gonna get. At least from my point of view. All right. Now we got this. This actually looks pretty good. Yeah, there's nothing in it. So now we got the smallest piece, the piece I hate cleaning the most, the nozzle. We're just going to put that in. So we should do it back way. This is when you have to problem solve things. I'm amazed people are still watching. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna grab the. I'm gonna take off the glove and put new ones on after this. I need the grip of my fingers for this small item. It looks like, yeah, we're clear. Got a little on the threads. Can't clean that off without dropping it. Just a little bit. There we go. Now to get this back onto the, get this back on there without breaking it. This little tool is pretty much essential. Slide it up. Just gotta make sure it's tightened. Nothing too tight. You don't want to, just want it. Yeah, just like that. Put these back on. And now I just gotta clean the needle. The easiest part. It wasn't so much the paint that didn't like it, it was the gun that didn't like the paint. Apparently, I don't know if it just is not supposed to go through airbrush, unlike its chrome, but it was thick metal flakes that it just did not hold. But I give myself credit when I did those last couple streams and things didn't work out, I just shut the stream off and swore off streaming for a bit because it wasn't in my headspace and everything. But I stuck with streaming on this one, and eventually everything worked out, it seems. But we're not going to test out any more of those chromes because that was disgusting what it did to my gun. So, but the needle is clean, so we just gotta put this back on. And it's lucky I have that it was the Eclipse this happened to. This thing is a workhorse. I wish I would have got this one to begin with and gotten a second one for priming or whatever, because this is my favorite gun to use. I can rely on it. Does everything like I hope. And woof, where did my little tool go? We gotta make sure that doesn't go away. There we go. There's that. And now we're back on track to get what we need done. We're not going to mess with any of those metal paints for the rest of today. I'm going to have to do a lot more research on them. First, I should spray some water through here, make sure it's completely clean. Yeah, they were thick metal flakes. Looks like we're good. I'd say 99.9% of the copper is out of it now. I have to grab 2 gloves. While I'm standing up, grab like 3 Q-tips. All right. Back onto the fun. I got to gather these to put them in the right spots. All right, I'm just getting these spoons together so that I spray the right ones with the right paint. And there we go. All right. The good thing is, because of that, all of our curing is done. And we'll start off with an easy one, the AP Regiment Gray. All right. So this is to see what color I want, which is going to be in the middle, and then also what the shading will look like. That's the goal of this. Put some more paint in here. So that's not too bad. kind of like that. Well, I'm trying to get a lighter gray and then also try and find this lighter gray. The one gray I want almost to be black. I want to simulate black, where you look at it and you go, that's black, but it's not actually black. Like you can still see definition in it. It's not just pitch black. Okay, that one didn't show the shading at all. All right, clean this one out. This will only take a minute. I get the fast cleans done fast. It's just the let's paint out first. It's just the actual end of stream cleaning or end of paint cleaning that takes a little bit, and also oh, yeah, I'm dropping things constantly now, so I'm just trying to get all the paint out of the pot, and we just put some water to run that through. So it's clean. Let's see. It's still a little bit. Okay, now we're good. Now we gotta mix our paints, which I'm getting really good at. Not to toot my own horn or anything. Let's see. We're gonna go with the aircraft gray next. Gonna try and do this on stream a little bit as much as possible. We don't need much. I say that, and then I end up pouring too much in, or not pouring, but I dropping too much in. So get this. And we'll pipette. That isn't too bad. Squeeze whatever extras out on there, because I've learned how easy it is to get out of paints or run out. I mean, so I try to spread as much as possible. Stir that up a little bit, and then see how it runs. Looks close to 2% to me. Just gonna pour that in. This is probably the lightest we're going to test today. All right. Ooh, that looks like it's going to be good. It's going on a little watery. But I'm actually impressed with how the shading went on that. I thought that was probably one of the darker ones, this one. Yeah, it's a little hard to see the shading at times. So We'll see what works. Yeah, that one we don't even see. And sometimes after doing these, if we don't see any of them, then we got to go back to the drawing board and see what we can do. Then it's opened. Dump out the excess. Grab the paper towel that I keep dropping on the floor. For a second, I thought like something was burning. I don't think anything's burning. If the stream suddenly shuts off, it's because I burnt my house down. I think it's the airbrush. It is rather strong, though, whatever it is. I'm not seeing any smoke or anything. And the tank's not hot. Must be just my own paranoid self. It happens from time to time. All right, quick and distracted and run stuff through this so that we can get to the next one. We're not even at the main event yet. The main event, well, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get to that tonight as much as I want to. I have a whole set to prime, but I just don't think that's happening tonight. I think we're just going to do our tests and call it after that. I'm fine. I'm sure I'm fine. Like I said, I don't see smoke anywhere. There's no reason to be smoke, so I'm pretty sure we're good. Let's check. It looks already thinned. No, it's not. Okay. Get the thinner out. There we go. I'll definitely be alive to stream tomorrow. Ooh, I did grab a lot of that. There's gonna be some extra. That is rather watered down, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Pull it back in there. Part of the problem is some of this is already pre-thinned stuffed, and so what my normal gauge would be, I was off on. All right. Let's try number 2. That was very watered down. Still a little watered down, but we'll make do, right? Yeah. Actually going on rather good, all things considered. Yeah, maybe that one for that one. There we go. All right, we'll see how this all turns out. There. Nope. I don't know why I put that away. Well, I missed you guys on my little break, so it's good to have you all back. Funny thing is, during my break, I had subscriber count go up instead of down. It was the weirdest thing. But while I was streaming, it was going down. Stopped streaming, and it went up. You give a boy a complex like that. That's what it is. I figured out what it was. I pretty dumb, but I was using a paper towel that I had used last night to clean off pieces, and I think the alcohol plus the chemicals that are sometimes left on pieces to remove them from molds uh, ended up creating that smell. And every time I was smelling, I had the paper towel right next to me, and it was right next to me when I was spraying as well. So, yeah, way to go on that one, huh? Now the question is, after this paint, should I keep going and start priming or call it a night? That is the $1,000,000 question. And apparently I can't think and do at the same time as I have cleaned this out in a goofy way. After doing 3 kits, I didn't realize how expensive airbrushing really is. Like you just think about the paints and the initial cost of like airbrush and stuff, but it's all like the cleaning supplies and all the like disposable stuff that you go through. I was like, wow, didn't realize. Kind of one of those surprise things you don't really think about. Like I've went through probably 1,000 spoons at this point. Most of that was early on. I go through them a lot slower now, but it's still kind of like my final testing phase before before I actually do the actual painting. I have to think about what colors I'm thinking about for our next stream build that we're doing our first build all the way to the complete end of the paint job, including all the finishing stuff. So that'll be fun. So this color, I'm looking to replace the black. Because I don't want to use a regular old black because it will completely ruin definition. Let's do a couple. Should be more than enough. Basically, you want to simulate it being black. You want to trick the person viewing it eyes thinking it's black, but when it all goes down, it's actually going to be a dark gray that you can still see some light through it. All right, grab our airbrush gun. This time I did the right amount, I think. Let's spray. So this is called tire black, but it's very much a darker gray than anything. Interesting. I definitely like it for the black, I think. Whether it'll actually show shading, I don't know. I mean, that looks black, but it also looks gray. So here, I'll pull a white spoon to kind of show what it looks like. So look at that, and it will kind of trick your eye. See if I can't get it a little closer. It'll kind of trick your eye thinking it's black. Maybe not. I don't know. That's on white, though. We're not going to be doing it on white. Let me grab a gray one, which is pretty much white, but it's a little bit darker. It's light dark. I mean, yeah, it's definitely gray, but yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. Like with the shading, it looks a little bit darker, but still. See if I can't quick try this a little bit. I'm just blowing air on it to try and get it to dry quickly. I mean, yeah, it's definitely a more uh, gray. I see that now. That one's definitely gray, but that one's actually a little bit. I'm gonna have to find something. I don't know. It's a lot easier with lacquers, but I can't. Because lacquers, there's plenty of those paints out there that do that, and I have to research to try and find an acrylic that will do that for me. Anyways, yeah, the problem is maintaining that consistency for a large scale model. Like if you're doing a few small parts, mixing's pretty good, especially, but if you get any type of errors, I mean, I guess I could mix it into a squirt jar, but still, it's the whole, you never know how much you're going to need. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. Because I have, I think, 2 or 3 more of these. And I could fill it partially, but I think this is too big. Okay, let's see. Spray some alcohol through here. I'm just strongly debating if I want to give a go at priming at least some of the pieces today. Like, get the ones done that I'm doing a gloss black on, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm gonna finish it there. I don't feel like that, because then I'm gonna have to clean up 2 guns tonight, and I'm only gonna have to clean this one pretty deeply again to make sure I got all the copper out of it for the most part. So I'm gonna end it here. I want to thank you all for watching. Swallowtail, it was really good seeing you again. Uh, I'll be streaming tomorrow at 7. That's the plan, barring any type of migraine or anything. But I'm looking forward to it. There was a community post showing that everything's set up for it. So all I gotta do is hit the live button. Well, I have to create the live first, but that will be simple enough. I gotta do a thumbnail. I gotta make a thumbnail. That's all I really gotta do. And the description. I just gotta word the description and those 2 things, and then I'm done. And I got the right runners out, cleaned up the area as much as possible, so to try and prevent any pieces from going into the abyss. But that seems to happen no matter what. I still haven't found those other pieces. I was kind of surprised, and I'm waiting to hear back from Bandai if they're going to send me a replacement or not. So we'll see. All right. Thank you again, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.